he was quite evidently one of the best singers of his generation, if not the best singer. He was, in my opinion.
Mine too.
Yeah, absolutely. Saturday morning, Hearts 80s. I can hear the sleigh bells. And I've really been looking forward to this because we're going to talk about one of the most iconic Christmas songs ever. But also, why have one guest when you can have three? Andrew Ridgeley, Pepsi and Shirlie. Good morning. Welcome to Heart 80s. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Christmas. You come very prepared with the sleigh bells and everything. I'm loving that.
He won't go anywhere without them.
No, I usually have the bridle as well.
Good. And is this a rare thing for the three of you to be together? I'm guessing you don't get to do this that often.
No, I live in St Lucia. These two are here.
Just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
That's right, a bit of a trek.
And as you know, we met to recreate the Last Christmas Unwrapped, which is coming out on the 14th of December, people.
Exciting.
And on Saturday. And it was just lovely us being together to do that. And that's been a while. So,
Can I say it's actually an honour to have Pepsi come over because I really miss her because I don't see her. She lives in St Lucia, so it's not, that's like an 18-hour journey by the time she gets to me.
This is a real treat
So
for me.
whenever she comes over, she stays with me. So it's really lovely.
Great.
We just go back into that friendship.
I think we should set up this reunion every Christmas, don't you think? Just in the run-up to Christmas.
We've seen a bit more of each other over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
We may
all,
ordinarily
all
have,
thanks to Wham.
Yes.
Indeed.
Of course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually, Andrew, last time you came in, I think was just before the Netflix documentary dropped, which really proved popular. I mean, that was so well received. You must have been thrilled with that, were you?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that we could have asked for much better, really. I think Chris Smith, the director, he contextualised the unfolding story of Wham in a very sort of intimate way. He used just George's voice and my voice as the narration. I think all of that combined to give people the sense that they were watching a very authentic representation, and it was. Chris, I think, recognised that in some ways, Wham, the development of Wham, was inextricably linked to our development as young chaps.
And how was it for you, Pepsi, joining later on? I always think whenever I watch something like I'm a Celebrity and people come in later, I think that's always a harder thing when you've already got a formed group there.
I was the one that really, I held myself back a little bit initially because I was like, I'm coming into this group. There's Shirlie, there's Andrew, there's George. They've known each other for so long. I'm not going to pretend that I've known them forever and pretend I've been there from day one. DC Lee was there before me. And I was always aware of that. I've always recognised that. There was jokes, there was the in-jokes that they encouraged me to get involved with. The silly laughs, the silly dances and all the rest of it.
It was nice to have a professional in the outfit.
Apparently I was a
we
professional.
didn't know anyone professional. We thought she was going to teach us a thing or two.
How did you come across Pepsi?
I was trying to be professional, but I later decided not to be.
Well, the thing is with Wham, I think the real essence of the whole thing was that it's all about friendship and fun, and the songs were about our life of that time, going out and whatever we were doing. So DC Lee was in the band first, and then she left to go on to the Style Council with Paul Weller. And so I think it was Simon Beale who introduced us to Pepsi, but we really liked the name. I remember there's a girl, she's a singer called Pepsi. We're like, yes,
she's
let's meet her. She's in.
Tick.
But yeah, you have to say, why are you called Pepsi? But I've only known her as Pepsi, so just to clarify that,
yes,
please.
thank you very much.
What I think has to be one of your most fun songs. Let's play Wake Me Up Before You Go. This is your first number one, but also what I love about it, it's one of those songs that, massive though it was, came from very humble beginnings. How did that song come about, Andrew?
George and I were still living at home in I suppose it must have been early 1984 because of our legendarily poor record deal. But I'd written a note to my mum to wake me up. We had some sort of commitment to do, and I made a spelling mistake I'd repeated the word up, so I'd written wake me up. And so I put before you go. And I don't know how Yog saw it, but he saw it, obviously. And that proved the inspiration for the song.
You could have ended up doing a song called Do Not Disturb or Feed the Cat. I mean, it could have been anything, couldn't it?
Was it on your bedroom door or your mum's bedroom door?
No, on my bed.
Right.
Music Press did give you quite a tough time around there. They were kind of anti-pop at the time, which was weird.
It was awfully silly because he was quite evidently one of the best singers of his generation, if not the best singer. He was, in my opinion, and lots of other people's as well.
Mine too.
Mine too.
Absolutely.
You know,
Quite right.
Can I add to that though? The thing about Wham was that at the time, okay, you say Wham was getting a hard time. We never felt that. We were kind of getting on with it. But the thing is, over the years, what I've discovered is there are those out there that said they were not Wham fans.
Right.
However, they have a Wham favourite song.
Yeah.
That's what I've discovered.
Yeah.
So if you say you're not a Wham fan, I bet you are.
Well, based on that then, let's talk about Last Christmas, because I think everyone feels festive and in a good mood when they hear this song. And this started in 1984, so we're celebrating its 40th anniversary this Christmas. And a little bit like Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, it had very humble beginnings at your parents' house or George's parents' house.
Yeah, Yogg's. Yeah, a dreary Sunday afternoon sometime in winter of 1984. Which obviously has inspired a lot of people throughout the ages. And
Let's write a song.
Yes.
he rushed upstairs and then came back down a short while later and hoiked me back up there saying, he was really excited. Really rarely seen him as excited. Funnily enough, Wake Me Up was one of those occasions as well. But he had a little recording studio in the bedroom. I mean, when I say a studio, it was one of those little 4-track things. It was no bigger, not much bigger than a cassette player. Yeah. And he'd recorded the keyboard part and the melody, and it was instantly recognisable as an absolute barnstormer, as it were.
So the second you heard it, you just knew this is going to be a hit.
we developed a fair sense of what was a hit and what wasn't by that time.
Yeah.
And so, it was, anyone who heard it would have recognised it in that moment as being, even in its most skeletal form.
There's a moment where he's talking to Paula Yates and he actually was saying to her, I've written a song for Christmas, and he kind of clears his throat,
Yeah.
and he sings a couple of the lines, and I was floored by then.
Well, he's so shy
Because he's
got
really
his
shy, and he
coming out
really-
under his big
yeah.
blow-dried fringe and all lacquer.
Yeah, and he
yeah.
was really bold enough to do that because when George was proud of a song, he played it to everybody. He wanted everybody to hear it and all the rest of it. And that moment was him saying, I've written this brilliant song.
Yeah.
And I want to sing this to you.
Well, let's put that in context, because that was at the recording of Band Aid, I think,
That's
that he
right.
did that.
Right.
And you obviously had this plan for this to be a number one, and suddenly Band Aid comes along. Honesty, amnesty, how did you feel about that?
We all recognised, as did everyone, that there was a Band Aid represented something of a somewhat higher purpose, and so therefore one couldn't help but recognise that and to support it, which we did in spades. It's nowhere near as good a song, but that really is neither here nor there because Bob Geldof's initiative to relieve the suffering that was going on in the Horn of Africa at that point was above any other purpose. So it was, we knew at that point that Last Christmas was not going to be a number one that year, but it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
But we had to wait 39 years.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's quite a
rather
wait.
longer than I might have.
And let's mention this TV documentary. This goes out tonight called Wham! Last Christmas Unwrapped. So as you said, Shirley, you've been back there. I'm guessing this is the first time you've been back
Yeah,
in all
in 40
those
years.
What was this like for you? This
It
must
was
have been
wonderful.
magical.
It was a real honour, and it was joyous and it was tearful because we were going back, obviously, without George, but we just felt his spirit, his presence there. And I know that he would have loved that because the one thing he loved was having his friends together at Christmas.
Yeah.
So for him looking down at us, I think he would have had a big smile because we're also, talking about the great song that he wrote. So we're keeping the memory alive of that song as well for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there were some... The moment, and I think either Pepsi or Shirlie identified it at the time, which he would have had absolute paroxysms of laughter, was when we unveil the
plaque.
Yeah, it's not a statue. as
Monument.
such,
It's
is
like
it?
a-
Anyway.
So in Sasfay, they really honour the fact the Wham was
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
And they have a sort of, I would say, plaque or monument. It's quite a modern structure. Artwork.
Lovely.
And they wanted us to unveil it. And there's Andrew, and we're standing there, and there's a ribbon, and he's got and everything just gets a bit chaotic. You have to watch the documentary to see it.
Well, also, did I read that you met, because you met some incredible people along the way? Am I right in thinking the person that was your driver is now the local mayor? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah.
He's
And
still
this-
there.
The town of Sasford, they're very proud of the whole Last Christmas thing. So
Sure, yeah.
it's now become a real, you can book a holiday to do the whole Wham tour, apparently. Not that I'm
It's
on
good for the
commission.
tourist board, isn't it? It's very
It's good for the tourist board, yeah.
It's the most prettiest, gorgeous place. And the thing is, coming from St. Lucia, where there's like palm trees and sunshine, in the winter.
Do you have a thick coat, Pepsi? Is that
I had to purchase one.
right? Okay.
Yes.
And thermals, plenty
Yes.
of thermals.
And, so it was just delightful, the fresh air and everything, being with my mates.
Great.
It was like very, very special.
Well, listen, we're nearly out of time. Tell us about the EP quickly, Andrew, that came out yesterday. This is a special 40th anniversary release of Last Christmas. Is that right?
Yeah, and it contains, as Shirley mentioned, the previously unreleased George recording of the track, which was recorded at Wembley Arena, I think, in 2006. So it really is a special edition. It comes out in actually a variety of really quite attractive formats. There's a white one, and I was over in the States at the, last week, and there's a fantastic label. They've done Santa and his sleigh, and I'm the reindeer and Yogi's Santa.
Of course.
That's great. I love that.
Jingle your bells, love.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
And listen,
Here he goes.
he's a real reindeer.
And can I just ask you very quickly, how do you feel about the Whamageddon thing? Because it's obviously a game where people are trying to avoid your song, which in a sense sounds negative, but it's become a thing like every year.
Explain.
Yes,
I
I-
have
So this is like
It's
everybody
bizarre.
plays
Yes.
the game, but if you hear the song, then you're out of the game. And there was a DJ at a football stadium that played it to like 7,000 people. So he wiped
Oh,
out
so they're
7,000
all
people in
brilliant,
one go.
brilliant.
But this is a thing that
I
comes
don't know
around
how
every
you
year.
avoid it.
I don't know how you
I
avoid
walk
it.
into a
Impossible.
store, it's on. Everywhere I go, I just think, there he is.
There
I
he
can
is.
hear him.
Can I say, Andrew, Pepsi, Shirley, thank you for coming in. Have a great Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank
Merry
you very
Christmas,
much.
Merry Christmas.
everyone.
Do your bells,
Merry
do your bells.
Christmas.
Here we go.
Jingle bells.
Here we go. Here's the reindeer.